So this was really born out of studying Tom Quayle. I always get super inspired looking at his stuff. I was transcribing some of his lines, and I just realized I was having a lot of trouble doing like varying numbers of notes per string, like varying them at will, and maintaining a nice sweep through everything. So I got really fixated on being able to go from like 2 notes on a string to 1 note on a string to 2 notes on a string. I was just really dialing in that kind of thing. Coming up with all sorts of variations around that, and then it just started kind of snowballing, and I was like, well, what if I could do like a cool triplet pattern that includes that varied notes per string kind of thing? And it just kind of got crazy and out of hand. And so one of the first things that I came up with was just hammering and pulling off like that, maybe taking 3 notes on a string, pulling off. I'm in E minor. I just like to demonstrate in E minor because I know you guys are all probably living there quite a bit. As us guitar players do. So I'm just hammering and pulling off 3 notes of a scale. And then I'm going to start to do an up drag. It was a down pick to start, but an up drag on the next string. So I grabbed like the middle note of that string, and then just going to do that 1 note. And I'm already going to jump up to the 3rd string with an up drag, just continuing sweeping through those 2 strings. So down, up, up. And you are noticing I'm using my pinky to get out here on this 3rd string because I'm looking for a higher note, like the 3rd note of a 3 note per string dealio. It's going to set me up to pull off to my pointer finger on the lowest note of that 3 note per string, of that 3 string grouping on that string. And all of a sudden, triplet, 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 triplet. And then I just can end it there. It already sounds super cool. You could just be soloing along. That sounds stupid, but you get the idea. This could be implemented a lot more soulfully, not being thrown on the spot like that. So and then that kind of just started spiraling, and I just said, okay, well, I could probably keep that going. And I could take that further. So the last note that we ended on, our pointer finger, we could just hammer again and continue that same sequence. So it's 2 hammers, a pull off, find the middle note of a string, go to the high note of the next string, and then pulling off to start over on the pointer finger, and now we can do our 2 hammers and just take that same sequence through. I just recommend taking that through as many areas as you can. 2 hammers, a pull off, a middle note, and then go up for a pinky or whatever it is, a high note on a string, and then pull off to your pointer to start the sequence over. You get some really, really cool stuff. But that's not all. There's definitely more ways to slice it. So I also started thinking about, well, what if I started on the middle note instead of the bottom note of a 3 note per string? And that was really, really cool. It's kind of the same idea, though, just finding a way to start that sequence over on the 3rd string away that you get to. So triplet, triplet, triplet. I like to think of it in triplets, but it works perfectly fine in more of a straight rhythm context. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 notes, makes a perfect triplet. And then just starting over. Super cool. Kind of failing here. It also sounds really cool for stretching out for like bigger intervals, right? I've just been doing like 3 note per string just in a scale, more stepwise. But if we did bigger stretches, like this, for example. Right, some of that's more leaning towards pentatonic or like pentatonic plus the 2nd scale degree. You can come up with some super, super sick variations that way. And then another way we could slice this concept is not only could we start with the second note, but instead of starting the sequence over from whatever string we end up on when the 6 notes is through, I could come down for a pick on the second string and start the sequence over from the second string. That's where this one's born from. So kind of the next step for me, and the final step on this for today, is being able to go through one set of that sequence. So like the 6 notes, make it to the 3rd string, turn around and start over from the 2nd string, except for instead of really starting over from the 2nd string, just doing something different altogether from the 2nd string. So I'm going to start from the bottom on 12 again. I'm going to do, hammer, pull off, 1 note on the 2nd string, come up, do my pull off on the 3rd string just like I would. Starting over on that 2nd string note, but I'm going to just go. I'm just looking for 6 notes still because I like to feel like the riff is connected to itself. We did a 6-note sequence. Let's do another 6-note sequence, like a common thread that ties it together so we have a similar grouping. But this time I'm going 1 note, 2 notes, 1 note, 2 notes. And again, that goes back to what this whole thing was inspired by, of just doing, 2 notes, 1 note, 2 notes, or 1 note, 2 notes, 1 note. Just doing these different groupings of 2s and 1s. So we end up with this. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's super wicked fun stuff. I'm going to try to tab as much of it as I can, but I'm just doing this one super fast today. So let me know if you want to do a deeper dive on this and talk about the types of note choice that might be nice for it or something, or maybe we can come up with some longer lines and just like a bigger set of lines that you'd be inspired by. So, and obviously don't just take this one riff and do it verbatim, but see what you can come up with. What note selection do you want on it? What are you going to, how are you going to contextualize it that makes it uniquely you? So anyways, guys, super fun jamming with you. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.